highly recommend if you missed the last session to go over the recording. We covered from chapter 1 to chapter 9, and then within chapter 9 also we did the review. So maybe if you have forgotten some concept, it would help you. All right. So with that, we will be starting from 19, but at least for the context. So see, this is the outline of chapter 9, right? This is the most confidential knowledge. And what do we understand by the most confidential knowledge? What do you recollect from the last time? Anyone? Or what Krishna is calling? What what is the word Krishna is using for the confidential knowledge in this chapter?
Guhyatma.
Yes, Raj Vidya, Raj Guhyam. So this is the king of all the knowledge, and it is the most confidential. So we are entering into the realm of Krishna's heart, and Krishna is revealing that, oh yeah, you want to love me? Let me give you the tools by which you can love me. So he is giving us the tool to love him. And what is that tool? What that tool is being called here? The hint is in front of you in the screen on, you can see that. Ashwarya Jnana, right? So it is about the opulence of Krishna, right? And so that we can see the Krishna in relationship with this world. And that is very important, right? If we want to love somebody, then we see that how that person is helping me, how that person is helping me, all my other relationships. And then we start appreciating that person, that oh, this person is so important. Due to that person all my relationship was flourishing. Due to that person I'm able to live such a wonderful life. And that's exactly what Krishna is trying to do, right? So from 4 to 10, right, Krishna is talking about Ashwarya again, how he pervades and maintains the entire world. And this was, we draw the parallel from chapter 7 also, and how Krishna is the supreme director. Okay, then Krishna is telling about the different gradient of people, and that is very important because the, you tell me why, what is the purpose Krishna will talk about the different g- gradient of people, different types of worshippers for Lord Krishna? Try.
Yeah. What's that question, Prabhuji? Could you please
The
repeat?
question is why Krishna is talking about the different types of worshipper, right? You see 11 to 25,
Hmm.
Krishna is talking about different types of worshippers. Why he's talking about that?
Because there are various kind of people that he has created, and how they observe Krishna is different.
How that is going to help, like, so what is the link, why Krishna would suddenly, so he's talking about Aishwarya again, and suddenly you think that he start talking about the different types of worshipper for Lord Krishna? There must be a reason, right?
Like
Am I,
based on the knowledge people have about Krishna, so they are classified into these different categories of worshippers.
yeah, you're close, Mataji. See, why Krishna is talking about different, this is a self test, right? Many times we can fool ourselves, right? Oh, Krishna is giving over the Aishwarya Gyan, that who Krishna is, but then how am I, is that knowledge is going to make sense to me depending on what kind of worshipper I am, whether I am a foolish person or I am a Mahatma. So two spectrum he gives. He gives, there are foolish people, right? Um, like who consider the Krishna as an ordinary human. So there is one spectrum. Then on the second spectrum is Mahatma or Ananya Bhakta, right? Who are constantly in devotion. So now he's given the spectrum. So and then now he's going into the gradient between those two spectrum, so that we can do the self test where we are. And that allows us to understand my proclivity and then say, oh, I am here in the middle. But I have, my goal is verse 13, 14, which is Mahatma. I have to be on the platform of Mahatma. Then only I will truly understand who Krishna is. So this is the self-assessment. Okay. So think from that perspective. Make sense? Does it make logical sense to all of you?
Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
yeah, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. All right. So with this little context, we'll go to text 19. Tapami aham varsham. Please repeat.
Tapami aham
Aham
varsham
Varsham.
Nigranami utsajami cha.
nigraham
Vikrami Uttarshita.
charityanim cha
Amritam chaiva mrityuscha.
Amritam Chaiva
amritam
Mrityuscha.
chaiva amritanscha
Sad ashaksha ham Arjuna.
tad
Tat
achit aham
Marjana.
arjuna.
O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Right? He's telling what he's telling now. So his opulences of Krishna. He's telling, I am the one who's giving the heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. So sometimes when you see the rain is coming right now, Seattle is Krishna's grace, and the Krishna grace is coming through Indra. Of course, so we talk about Indra also because Indra is getting. So we talked about the. You must remember from the earlier discussion six different kind of incarnation. Do you all remember that from the past? I think Shri Vallabh Prabhu must have talked about that. Okay, so even if you don't recollect, so so demigods are also incarnation. They have they are the Shakti Avesh, right? They are given the special power, Shakti Avesh Avatar. They are given a special power, and that's the reason they are able to perform what they are able to perform. Okay, so everything is happening through the power of Krishna. Okay, so here Krishna is telling, I am the one who's withhold and I am the one who sent the rain and I am immortality and I'm also death personified. So if somebody is immortal, that is Krishna. And when the death comes, that is also Krishna. Because Krishna is sending us from, he has created the law of the land, which is the law of this material nature, which is we are given the body, we are given certain consciousness, and our consciousness is a function of what? What determines what kind of consciousness I am going to get and what body I am going to get?
Based on our karma and the
Karma
actions.
and what did you say, Mataji? Karma
I just
and
said past like reactions or
okay,
whatever.
no. So that is the karma part, and there is one more aspect which is very important.
Desire.
Desire. Very good. Who was that? Who's that?
Rakesh.
Rajesh. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Very good. Yes. So if I wanted to be a rich person, right? I always desire. That's my like material desire. I wanted to be a rich person, and then let's say I did a lot of piety in this life. Next life, Krishna may make a person like Bill Gates or somebody like who's or Abani or somebody like that, right? Maybe Abani's son, right? So that's because the desire, I had a desire, and then I had the karma also which can support the desire, right? Then I will be giving that kind of a body and that kind of a life. Okay, so it's Krishna's arrangement. So law is Krishna. The people are enabling it, they're getting the energy from Krishna. That's the reason they're able to do that. So Krishna is directly telling, you see, because, and this is where people think, oh, demigods are the one, let's go. Here Krishna is telling that, hey, all those power is coming from me. So this is the truth he's revealing. Nobody will know this truth unless Krishna comes and talks about it. Okay? So both spirit and matter are in me. So both spirit and matter are in me. So Krishna, by his different energy, diffuses heat and light through the agency of electricity and the sun. The energy which sustains us by prolonging the duration of our life is Krishna, and Krishna meets us at the end as death. Okay, and if Krishna is, this is a very important point, that's the reason why I highlighted is there's no distinction between matter and spirit. So when there is no distinction between matter and spirit, we say, oh, the matter and spirit are totally two different things, right? Totally opposite, and they don't go well together. That's the reason why we have the misery in this world. Now tell me, when there is no distinction between matter and spirit,
when it's absolute.
is absolute. Tell me a little bit more, Prabhu. What do you mean by when it's absolute?
Um, Krishna is absolute. There is no distinction between his name, his pastimes.
Okay, so see, okay, so the the distinction goes away when we see the relationship of Krishna with that item, right? So you are right, when Krishna is non-different from his names and his pastime, but we haven't realized that, right? So at least to begin with, we have to see, if I see a table, right? I am sitting on the table, I'm using the laptop, I'm using the Teams. If I see that in collection of Krishna, that how the folks who have developed this software are the Krishna's part and parcel. They have been given the intelligence, they have developed that. We could be using the teams for some other purpose, but here we are using the teams for learning about Krishna. Now it is becoming so while we are studying, while we are listening about Krishna, am I also contemplating about Krishna, right? Can I think about Krishna in everything? So even the matter, if we think the matter in relationship with Krishna, that time there is no distinction. If we see the matter, I will repeat, if I see the matter in relationship with Krishna, then there is no distinction between matter and spirit. But if I see the matter as a different than than Krishna, then that's where the problem happens. Let me give more practical example. If you see your spouse, or if you're not married, see your one of the other intimate relationship as a relationship which is just there. Either you love that relationship, you love your spouse, or you don't love your spouse. Because you don't dislike your spouse on some things, oh, she did or he did something which was not correct, and then you have a fight or you have a disagreement, right? Now that's the cause of misery. Now, if you add Krishna, oh, Krishna has given me this spouse, must be a reason why this spouse is behaving like that way, must be because it's a gift from Krishna as my spouse. And what can I learn from my spouse, whether I like his or her action or not? There must be something for me to learn. It's for more my own purity, right? When you start thinking like that, you will start appreciating that Krishna has given you the relationship or the spouse in this example for a specific purpose, which is our own purification. We have so many anarthas in our life, right? Our anger, greed, envy, the way we think about ourselves, we think our pain, we forget about other pains, right? So all those things becomes Krishna consciousness. Okay, so always think, when we think the matter, the things in this world, or the living entity in this world in relationship with Krishna, then everything becomes Krishna consciousness, and there is no distinction between matter and spirit. Does it make sense? Any question here?
No, Prabhuji.
Makes sense. Okay. Others are following me. See, if you're not following, because see, I don't know you personally right now. I don't know what is your learning style. We all have a different learning style. So give me some feedback. Are you able to follow whatever I am saying? Or it and I don't mind. You can say that, Prabhu, I didn't follow it. Can you repeat it? It's totally fine, right? So tell me, once I know that maybe you are all very quiet, right? Once I know that you are all are following, then I'll keep going. So tell me, are you following? Aparna
So
Mata,
if you
you say
Yes,
understood,
yes,
yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
yeah,
Oh, Sridevi Mata,
that
you go
is
ahead.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, understood your example, but
Hmm.
how does that relate to matter and spirit? Like
Okay.
the example that you gave, like for
Okay.
spouse, is
Mhm.
it like though it is in the material world, but we have to like think outside the box that it has a spiritual reasoning behind it? Is that the spirit part?
Yeah. So okay. So very good. So you are thinking that yeah, living entity, your spouse is not matter. It is a living entity. It comes under the tathastha energy, right? It is marginal energy of the Lord. It's not matter. But many times when we don't think this, first of all, some of people they don't understand that we are living entity is not matter. But if our relationship is not in relationship with Krishna, with that person, that the misery caused by that person will lead to my degradation, right? So I'm speaking from that perspective. So even though there is a spirit soul within your spouse, in this example, within the spouse, a spirit soul, which is not matter, okay? But what I'm teaching through, what I'm trying to tell you through this example, that how that relationship we can see in relationship with Krishna. So point number one, that spirit soul is not matter, it is a spirit, it is part of Krishna, but how to see that in relationship with Krishna, okay? Point number one. Point number two, which is before that I was giving the example of the table, right? So even the things which I'm using, we say that, in Krishna consciousness, we should, you might have heard, we should utilize the things, minimal things for uh, our sense gratification. You might have heard, right? While other things we might have heard that as long we are utilizing the things for the Krishna service, that's all right. Okay, so you have a car, you may have a house, right? These are all matter, okay? But when you are utilizing it in service of Krishna, and that doesn't mean that Krishna as a deity form or Krishna, your relationships, if you think in relationship with the Krishna, they also become spiritualized. They are Krishna. Your spouse, your children have come in your life due to Krishna's mercy. Do we see it that way? Do we feel grateful to Krishna for that matter? And then we say that, okay, my kitchen, right? As a woman, I will think that, oh, my kitchen, I'm cooking food for my children, and so those are a matter thing, right? But now I'm utilizing those. I'm buying. Let's say I bought something. I can buy for sense gratification. I want an ice cream maker because I want to eat a lot of ice cream. Or the second thing is, and we have to be very honest about it, right? We shouldn't try to fool ourselves. But let's say I bought a ice cream maker, which I truly feel that my kids like it. I will utilize it because I want to give them the homemade ice cream rather than the store bought ice cream. And before I give, of course, I will offer it to Krishna. Then they will be eating the prasad. Why they have to eat the outside ice cream? Now see that machine which you bought because you were thinking that way. Now this, it has come in service of Krishna and there is no difference between the matter and the spirit from that angle. I'm taking a pause. Does it help, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, a lot. Yeah, a lot clearer. Thank you so much.
Thank you for asking. Yes, please do ask whenever you have a doubt. Okay. Okay. So in the advanced stage of Krishna consciousness, one therefore makes no such distinction. So this is the advanced stage. So now this tells us that this is a measure. Am I seeing? So whenever we take a pause, right? Many times we are going on like a machine, we are going, but then time to time we should take a pause. Am I making a distinction? Am I not making a distinction between these two things? Did I remember the Krishna? Oh, I didn't remember the Krishna. Throughout the day, I haven't remembered the Krishna. I did my japa, but I then throughout the day, I didn't remember the Krishna. Then, oh, let me remember the Krishna. So this is how, when we are very intentional about it, then we will grow. And then as we are growing, we will be able to measure ourselves whether I'm really growing or I'm stagnant. Right before before everybody came on call, me and Aparna Mataji was talking about, and she was telling that she doesn't know if sometimes she feel that the life has become her spiritual life has become very stagnant. Right. So these are the things. As a inquirer, we have to think time to time about it, and then after assessing, we should try to make an improvement on that. Okay? That's intelligence. So he sees only Krishna in everything. Since Krishna is both matter and spirit, the gigantic universal form comprising of all material manifestation is also Krishna. See, very important point. There's a universal form where we are seeing everything. So this universal form is not permanent, right? It is imaginary form. The Bhagavatam says, but that form still has a meaning because it shows who Krishna is. It gives us a visual representation of Krishna's power and how Krishna is connected with everything. So very important form. Okay, and but now we see that how everything is connected. That form also tells how everything is connected with Krishna and his pastime in Vrindavan as two-handed Shyam Sundar. So whether we see the universal form or his two-handed Shyam Sundar form, everything is Krishna playing on a flute. So Shyam Sundar playing on a flute are those of the supreme personality of Godhead. So Krishna is both matter and spirit. Right, when we see it in relationship with Krishna, his gigantic universal form, comprising of all material manifestation, is also Krishna, right? And his pastime, Swam Bhagwan Krishna, he is of course Krishna playing on the flute, playing with all the Gopa Gopis. He's also Krishna. So he's Krishna. Okay. So verse 20. So I'll end the class in 5 minutes because I have to go to temple. I have okay. Okay. Trevidha mam somapa put papa
Trividya
त्रैविद्या
mam
मां
somapa
Yamanso
सोमपा
pata
पूता
papa
पाप
yagner ishtva swargatim प्रार्थयन्ते
Yajna
यज्ञैर्यिष्ट्वा
Yagnetva swargatim
स्वर्गतिं
prarthayante
प्रार्थयन्ते
ते पुण्यम् आशदा सुरेन्द्रालोकम्
Te
ते
Punya
पुण्यम्
punyam
आशद्य
lokam
सुरेन्द्रलोकम्
अश्नाति दिव्यान् दिवि देवा भोगान्
Ashna
अश्नाति दिव्यान् दिवि देव भोगान्
Those who study the Vedas and drink the soma juice, seeking the heavenly planet, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. Right? So those who study the Vedas and drink the soma juice, seeking the heavenly. So these are what they are desiring. They are desiring heavenly planet in so even though they are desiring, but they are studying the Vedas, indirectly they are worshipping Krishna. He's telling indirectly they are worshipping me and purified of sinful reactions as they are doing more piety, right? And they are purifying their sinful reaction. They take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. I was giving the example of um, uh, uh, born as Bill Gates or Abani or the son of Abani, right? So the people who are thinking of going to the heavenly planet, right, playing with and in the Swarg Loka, they can they can go and do so, right? And but what Krishna is telling, that is his energy. They are worshipping him indirectly. So the word Tri Vidya refers to the three Vedas, Sama, Yajur, and Rig. A Brahmana who okay, sorry. Unfortunately, there are many great scholars of the Vedas who do not know the ultimate purport of studying them. Krishna herein declares himself to be the ultimate goal for three Vedis. Trivedi. Actual Trivedis take shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and engage in pure devotional service to satisfy the Lord. Unfortunately, those who are simply official students of the Vedas become more interested in offering sacrifice to different demigods like Indra and Chandra. Okay, certainly purified of the contamination of the lower qualities of nature, elevated to a higher planetary system or heavenly planet known as Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka. So netted, what Prabhupada is explaining further is that the people who are Krishna is Vedas. Krishna comes in the form of Veda, and through the Vedas, people are able to, if they're able to elevate themselves to Swargaloka, they should understand indirectly they are worshipping Krishna. Okay, uh, and and through that one can go to any higher planetary system like Maharloka, Gyanloka, or Tapoloka, right? So how many planetary systems are above Earth?
7.
I think 3 or 4.
Six.
Above Earth is 3 or 4.
Six.
oh,
So
oh,
so yeah. So the total how many planetary system are in the universe?
14.
14. Very good. So Earth is the seventh. Okay. So six above and seven below. Okay. So that's the 14 planetary system. So we should realize. So the takeaway point is that doesn't matter people are worshipping to go to the higher planet or want to have opulent life or they're looking for the mystic siddhis, anything indirectly, each of them are worshipping Krishna because Krishna is the one which is able to fulfill their desire through the agency of material and material nature, which is Maya Devi or the demigods. All the administrators, they're all Sakti Avesh, avatar of Krishna in a way. Okay, so that is the takeaway. With that, I will end the class today. If you are able to join today's class by Braj Vihari Prabhu, that will be awesome.